I am Caz Parker from MMH Radio with the incredible, awesome Marco Mendoza. Yeah, again, because we've done a lot of these interviews, haven't we? But
Yes, we have.
this might be our fourth one, you know. So how are you? How are you
It,
getting on?
I'm good. It's always good to see you, good to talk to you. We always have a blast, and so that's cool. I'm good, preparing for the dates in the UK and Europe, and something that started with a date that goes back to 20, to be honest. It was the bass guitar show, the UK bass guitar show was booked back in April of 20.
Right.
And I don't know what happened, but something happened.
A thing. Do you know what? We're not
And
even going to talk about that thing. We're over. We're
a
so
li-
over it. Yeah.
just a little thing, you know what I mean? Was that get better? Is it getting better? Anyway, no.
Yeah. No.
So that I know. I'm sorry.
All right. A little
No.
bit. A little bit. Don't try Birmingham. You won't be able to do
Oh,
Birmingham.
forget it.
Nobody
I
can.
know.
Yeah. I'll train you.
Yeah. So I got a call, like I say, and I've been doing a few interviews. It's so true. It's not like I need a manager. That's the bottom line. So I don't have a manager. I'm flying solo. So
Yeah.
it's not like I make a plan. I do that. I have an agenda. I have, okay, I'm going to go from point A to B to C. It just happens, Cass. For me,
Yeah.
I'm so lucky that way.
Yeah.
So long story short, Neil got in touch with me at the beginning of January
Mhm.
this year. And you got to remember that this thing was postponed and almost canceled 2, 3, 4 times
Yeah.
on and so when I got the call from him, he says, "We're moving forward. Are you still interested? We signed a contract for back in." I said, "Absolutely." So
Yeah.
that grew into, okay, I'm going to be there in Liverpool. Let's see what we can do and see
Yeah.
make a few gigs. At the same time, we're trying to get everything sorted with the label, with Target Mighty, to get my new album out so that we can, have the best impact as
All right.
possible. So it didn't work out. It's coming out. The single's coming out April 13th,
Yeah.
which is right after I finish in London on the 10th of April.
Yeah.
But then European dates and all that. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm like having a blast. It's good. Anytime I have a chance to tour, Cass, and play my music,
Yeah.
people are interested in seeing and hearing what I have to
Yeah.
say.
No, we have to.
It's all good. And then I'm showing you what I'm dealing with weather-wise.
Oh my goodness. Look at this.
It's California.
Beautiful. Well, you know what? It's been fairly glorious today in Britain as
Yeah.
well. We've had sunshine. It's been a little nippy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had sunshine.
But
So basically that concludes the interview. We've pretty much covered everything
it's
already.
like,
One question. How are you doing? Covered it
oh
all.
my God, coffee.
It's you and your coffee. That's what it is. No, we're going to go into a little bit more depth. So, okay.
Mhm.
So you're right, because you only came over in October. So
Yeah.
here you are again. And we reckoned, didn't we, that you were the first US musician to make it over for a tour back then, certainly in our genre and of the people that we knew of, which was amazing. So, all right, so you're back again already. So
I know. I
what's going
people
to be
in
different this time? Are we just going to be more of the same, massive energy and fabulous
I,
shows?
I mean, we've been talking. I've been talking to the boys, to Tommy and Kyle, and we're definitely going to change the set around a little bit. I have a lot of catalog, and I don't really think about it too much, but I have a lot of songs from Live for Tomorrow, the first album, that really didn't get supported the right way because I
Oh,
was busy with, I don't know, Whitesnake, then Lizzie, Nucci, without sounding
you
pretentious,
name
but
it.
it's true. Yeah.
Busy. Yeah.
So the album came out and I didn't do any dates until 2 years later. So my bad, you know. So we're thinking I'm going to print that CD
Yeah.
with permission from Frontiers, and we'll be doing 2, 3 songs from that album, and possibly do maybe one from the second album, which is Viva Up for it, just Casa Mendoza,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then some of the same set. So the set might be a little longer, depending on where my energy level is, because travel just takes the hell out of me. It kicks me, but
But
I'm up
I know
for it.
you. Your energy level will still be up there. It doesn't matter. As soon as you get on that stage,
That's true.
it's
That's true.
true.
Yeah, very, very true. I get lit up
Coffee.
and at coffee, and occasionally I do the Red Bull. I'm trying to get off it. But even the boys say, Marco, you're playing too much. Your sets are too long. And then occasionally I hear from the venues, from managers, Margaret, kind of cut it down a little bit because
Oh.
no, it's all good. It's all good. I get into, I'm very social, you can tell.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and you do, but your set isn't just song, song, song. You chat and you interact and stuff as well. So that's probably what elongates it a little bit when you get excited and you start talking
yes,
as well.
I find that it's really important when I get, especially in these intimate venues,
Yeah.
to to connect, to break the wall, to break the glass, break the ice, whatever you want to call it, to connect. And if you come to any of my gigs, you'll see that I insist on having the audience participate in the party
Yeah.
because they are the party. We are
Yeah.
there for them, not the other way around, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's why that is why it works so well. I mean, I was going to say exactly the same thing, really, but I will just because I've got the list of venues because it is intimate venues, you know, and I've said this to you before in an interview, but you are a legend and you play in these intimate venues. You know,
yeah,
it's an honor for us as the audience and
thank
the
you so
shows.
much.
And because the shows are interactive, it just makes them that little bit more special. But just so that everybody knows, it starts 2nd of April, that's Liverpool. Then you've got Newcastle, Edinburgh, Cannock, Crumlin, Sheffield, Blackpool, and London. So really, there's no
Hmm.
excuses because that's pretty much covering everywhere. So there's
Yeah.
no excuses for anybody not to come and to miss out.
Yes.
They would
Yeah.
be fools if they missed out.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. But I will say this: we're hitting some new venues that we were scheduled
Mm,
for 20. So we're trying to do that, and
yeah.
I hope. I hear different opinions. I also hear, Marco, it's too soon to come back. You know, I'm like, I love it there.
Mm,
I love the audiences there, my fans, my friends. I feel the love. I feel the
yeah.
support. And hopefully it'll reflect on the business side of it, which is a
Yeah.
reality. And then it'll enable me to come back because I do want to come back later. There's some festivals that I'm participating in, and the full album will be released by August, maybe September. So
Okay.
that's the plan. You put one foot in front of the other, and stay
Yeah.
out of the results, right?
Well, there'll be festivals around the sort of October, November, December time, won't there?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
mm,
So we're talking. We'll
uh,
see what
yeah.
develops.
I'm sure you'll appear at some of the ones I'm going to. That'll be good. All right, then tell me a little bit about you've got support band Bad Actress this time.
Yes, bad actors came in. They came through my friend Mark Allison,
Oh,
and he's helping them out. They're young kids
ah,
that have a lot of energy. They write some cool songs,
yeah,
and we did one show in Scotland. We ended up the tour last year,
yeah,
and they really impressed me in that. You know what I love about it is that they're related. It's family, right? I really dig that because that's
yeah,
who I am. At
yeah.
the core of who I am, that's who I am. I'm a family guy. So they're family, they're related.
Mm,
They put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and effort into it. They're building it. They're in the right way. They're getting on the radar. They put on a good show, and their parents are involved. They travel with them. Something about that speaks really loud to me. I mean, it might
yeah.
be whatever sentimental, whatever you want to call it,
You're
but
like Daddy
because it really
Marco.
it's yeah, but because it was my father that was doing that with me when I was 14, 15, 16
Yeah,
years old. And it just brings a lot of good memories. And I think they're going to leave a mark. I think they're
yeah.
going they head in the right direction.
Oh,
And I would love to be part of, seeing that, opening
yeah,
the door, if you will, some way, in a little way. And so they seemed very interested. And yeah, it's good. I gotta say, in my history of doing solo gigs, there's been quite a few bands that have been there that have moved on to bigger and better things. So that's really rewarding
yeah,
for me, for somebody, for an older cat like me that's
yeah,
been around the block, to see that happen. Because after all's been said and done, it's what it's all about. It's all
yeah.
about the community, helping each other, supporting each other.
All right,
You
maybe
know.
you are the key. You are the golden ticket for them. They tour
Well,
with
I
you.
don't.
That's it. Job.
No, I don't. I don't know that it comes to that place, but it gives them an opportunity
Mm,
to expose themselves a little bit more,
yeah, of
So,
course it does.
and there's always a business side of it. So, and it's all good. That takes care of
Yeah,
itself too. Everybody's happy. I'm hoping to see. They're shooting some videos right now. They're getting ready, man. They
yeah,
are
yeah.
practicing, rehearsing. They're writing. They're
Uh,
recording. So I'm like, okay, I better get on my toes here too, you know.
Yeah,
So
too. Definitely. That'll keep you on your toes. But no,
a lot of energy.
if you can be their lucky charm, that's only because what you know, if you put good stuff out into the world, good stuff comes back, doesn't it? And you know, you've got a good eye for the right people, people with a good heart. So
That's it.
see, I
That's
trust
what
your
I'm all
opinion.
about.
I know you well enough.
Thank
I
you.
trust your opinion. All right, then.
Thank you.
We've briefly touched on it,
Uh-huh.
but tell us a bit more about this single and album then.
The single ended up being what was scheduled to be released in 20, which
Yeah.
is against my instincts. We had to go in that direction for a lot of reasons, but it's called "Take It to the Limit," and
Mhm.
that's a single that we shot. That was the first song that Sora and I recorded when we got together.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Viva.
Oh, yeah, of
The
course. Yeah.
first song we recorded when we that became the first single was when we got together, and it just happened. So
Yeah.
instinctively, you kind of follow in that pattern. And it's energy, and it's like, you know, it talks about, you know, don't settle for less, take it as far as you can go. Life's little, you know, theories, mine anyway. When you think, you know, the ships are down, you just got to give it a little more and just have a blast, get the best of you can get out of life, generally speaking, through a
Hmm.
song. So
Yeah.
that's what it celebrates. And the video is pretty cool. I saw it. We're making a few edits here and there. There was a little bit too much skin revealed, and I'm okay with that. I love it. It's very sexy and it's beautiful, but I want to cut it back
Yeah.
a little bit. In the essence, I mean, it should be about the music, and the videos help. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we're doing that,
Can't have
making a
it.
few changes.
Can't
Huh?
have it too explicit, can you?
I, I, I think you'll agree. It's beautiful, and
Good.
you know, sex appeal is a beautiful thing. I love it. I embrace it. I endorse it. But there's a thin line too, where
Yeah.
you don't. It's not necessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about
Extraneous,
anybody.
that's it, isn't it? If it's extraneous, then yeah,
You
it's no
got,
good.
you know, sexuality. If you leave a lot of it to your imagination, it's much powerful to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I got chills again. But it's so true. So yeah, we're editing. We're finally going to release it. Comes out April 13th. I'm excited because it's new music.
Yeah.
Again, you know, I stay out of the results. I don't know how it's going to be received, well, good or bad or indifferent or whatever. But I'm excited because I'm doing it, and I'm
Well,
excited because it's back to what we were doing back in 20.
yeah.
And so it feels like we're plugging into whatever normal was back in 20. I don't know what that is anymore, but
Mm.
so yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
The thought that we're going to have hopefully a second single after that at the end of June,
Cool.
and then the full album is scheduled to come out August, latest September, early
Yeah.
September. So
Okay.
yeah, you know, more gigs, and there's a few other projects cooking that I was asked not to talk about too much.
See, I was going to say that actually. I was going to say, is there anything else?
I knew you were.
You know, because I always say we like secrets. So, and I
You
know,
get in, you do your homework, and you're very good. You go, yeah, which is very cool. And this has happened before. Uh, yeah, there's a project. I mean, it's exposed right now, but I'm kind of like laying back to see where it's going to go. But Iconic is a beautiful project. I don't know if you're
yeah,
familiar.
I've
It's
seen loads on social media. Yeah. That you've
and I'm really excited because of the lineup, the
yeah.
folks that are involved. It's Frontiers, Alessandro Del Vecchio producing and writing with the guys, and I have my brother Tommy holding, you know, killing it. Tommy Aldridge
Yes.
on the drums, so I get to play with him again and record, and so it's very exciting. And it's almost like I want to talk about it more and more and more, but I'm like
Yeah.
leaning back right now. My focus is my solo thing. Everybody else is involved in their own solo things
Yeah.
and projects, but at the top it's Nathan James,
Yes.
who's amazing
Yeah. Yeah.
singing, and then
Joel.
Michael Sweet from
Yeah.
Striper singing as well and playing brilliant guitar, and Joel Hoekstra,
Yeah.
Tommy Aldrich, and myself. So
Yeah.
it's the Whitesnake alumni revisited in a
Mm.
different package.
Yeah.
And when you listen to the music, I think it's going to be released in the summertime. It's very reminiscent of that era and that sound that, you know. And when you have singers like Nathan and Michael, it's
Yeah, it's going to be
So,
epic, isn't it?
so I'm excited.
Yeah. There's never anything that you're not excited about.
No,
But I'm
well,
like
we're
that
very,
as well. I like to be excited about everything as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
we're very similar. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, you're very social. I'm very social. We talk, we yap, and we get involved when we network,
yeah,
and we are like the bees pollinizing everything, connecting dots and all. It's very cool. I do that, and it's worked
yeah,
for me in my career. I know it's working for you too.
yeah, same, yeah. Yeah.
There's another album that,
Everybody.
yes, exactly. There's
And
another
from
album. I'm
sorry.
sorry. Go ahead,
I
babe.
was going to say always be nice to everybody, but you have to be genuine. It has to be from the heart. You can't just make
Yes.
it if it doesn't come naturally to you, you can't get away with it. I don't think. You've
No,
got to
no,
be
no,
all,
no.
it's all about being authentic, isn't it? So yeah.
Yes, I always have to bring it back a little bit and keep
Yeah.
myself in check because I go.
Yeah, me too. I think
I'll let
everything's
it-
the best thing in the world. Everything's the best thing in the world. And people are like, what?
Yes,
Another thing that's the best thing in the world? Yes, because in this
yes,
moment it is.
it is. Yeah,
uh,
I have to watch myself. I'll end up on the moon and not being able to get back.
that's
Just
not a
kidding.
bad thing. Could be worse.
No,
Could be worse.
it's that's that's an inside joke with my family and my friends. So if you had a chance, let's do this. If somebody came up to you and said, "I can take you to the moon," what would you
Yes.
say? And it was real. What would you say?
All right, let's do it. What do I need to pack?
So that's what it is.
Okay.
9 out of 10 times where my circles, it's like, I don't know if this is interesting, but to me, it's like, well, I don't know. There's nothing to do on the moon. There's no malls, there's no social media, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no this, there's no
Yeah.
restaurants. You're missing the whole point.
Yeah, there's two things to do on the moon. One, look back at the Earth and all the stars. The other thing you can do is bounce around. I've seen them do it. I mean, how much fun would that be? That's all I need to know. Bouncing around. And also on the journey up, you'd be floating around in your rocket as well. Sounds good.
How many people will get a chance to do that?
No,
And then
exactly.
after the moon, Mars and Venus and the whole thing.
I'd be
Just like,
there with my iPhone trying to take photos of the Earth and it would come out fuzzy because it's not good enough.
yeah.
Fab. So, okay, the next question I'm going to ask you is because we were chatting a little bit earlier about how last year you worked with Journey
Yeah.
to add yet another massive name to your huge repertoire of bands that you've played with. So, we could talk about that, but I've got a little question around it.
Yes.
You have played with all of these bands, Thin Lizzy, you named them all, Blue Murder, Journey. Have you got a favorite song to play live? Is the one that really floats your boat, or is that just the most impossible question? Probably.
It is. It really gets my noggin going, and I go into this tilt. It's like I can't find and I'm trying to be as sincere as possible, right?
Yeah.
So the initial reaction would be, 10 songs, 20 songs. So I have one of those frames. There's so many highlights you can imagine. Of course, I watch every so often. I watch the Hammersmith vid. It pops up, with David and Whitesnake. Man, it's beautiful time, man. It was just a big highlight in my career, and that brings a lot of good memories. And I would say that video was so well done, so well produced. There's quite a few highlights there.
Yeah.
For me, that I'm a whatever singer, I'm not what I consider the singers. I sing and I love to sing and I pull it off. When I get to sing duets with David, it's definitely a highlight because I mean, no one ever will cover Glenn Hughes. No one will ever be Glenn Hughes. But to have that opportunity to recreate those songs, the Purple songs, because when I was up and coming and learning, a kid learning stuff, when Glenn and David sang, it was like, what?
Yeah.
It really left a beautiful mark in my brain. And so I got to experience that with Coverdale. That was amazing.
Which song then?
That.
So Burn or another song?
Yeah, Burn.
Yes.
Definitely.
We narrowed
Burn.
it down. I can't believe I did that. I cannot believe I narrowed you down from like being excited about everything to one song. I'm so impressed with myself.
Yes, very good. Recently, Don't Stop Believing. Come on.
Amazing, yeah.
I mean, and when you have thousands of people singing,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you know, Lollapalooza. I mean, those songs are classic,
Yeah.
beyond classic. They've become you know, part of
Like,
our world, a pop
yeah.
world. You can't even describe it. I can't.
It's
Uh,
iconic. It's I'd say iconic. That's obviously why you've called the band iconic. But it's like it's an anthem, isn't it? And when it's
Life anthem.
an anthem that
Yeah.
everybody knows,
Yes.
that's the difference between that and just an amazing song. So yeah,
Absolutely, and you know, all the Journey stuff. They're all classics, and they're all anthemic,
of course they are.
and they were a part of my musical fabric as I was growing up.
Yeah,
Um, Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever on the Kiss, uh, you know, tour '99 2000 with
yeah,
the original lineup. I mean, that brought a lot of chills,
yeah,
and then take it down to the Vive for Phil at the Point, which is now the O2 Arena in Dublin. The boys are back in town with
yeah,
Thin Lizzy.
yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean? It's
yeah, yeah,
really hard for me. It depends on the day,
yeah. Of
the
course,
interview.
yeah,
Yeah. And then I have highlights, believe it or not, where uh, with my own music,
yeah,
you know, we played Rockstock last year,
yeah.
and I went up there and we had a beautiful slot. Thank you, John Norman. I appreciate it.
We love John Norman. I'll have to make sure he watches this now. I'll tag him in.
Yes. And he put me, there was a lot of changes, last minute changes. And I saw that and I reached out. I said, bro, you know, I'm going to be in the UK. Just, yes, we want you, like that. It was like, definite. So very supporting, a lot of love. And the response was ridiculous.
Yeah,
They were singing Viva la Rock, and there was, you know, it was insane, man. It was like,
yeah,
wow. So how can you compare that to, it's just really hard, you know.
yeah. Well,
My career's full of highlights.
yeah, yeah. And they're both exciting, but in different ways, aren't they? And I suppose
Mhm.
I was just interested because, well, I didn't think I was going to be able to get you to narrow it down. I thought that was a bit of an impossible question. It's like when people say to me, who's your favorite band? And I'm like, well, it depends on the moment and the day, or what's your favorite song? I mean, I usually
Yeah,
come back to Meatloaf Bad Out of Hell, but it's not my only favorite song. I could say
it's a
that.
great song. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it makes me very, very happy, and
Yes.
I do have a habit of, this isn't my interview, by the way, people who are watching, but I
Yeah.
do like to act it out. I like to give it air mic, air guitar, air keys, and even air
Absolutely.
motorbike. Oh, I do the whole
Don't
lot.
apologize for that. We
Yeah,
love that about you. I
nothing
love
makes
that
me
about
happier
you.
than that song.
To the moon,
To
Cass,
the
to the
moon,
moon.
to the moon. That's it. That's our new thing. All right then. A couple of. Do you know what? I'm trying to decide what random questions I haven't asked you before. Um,
Can I
so
ask, can I add to the
go on then.
highlights?
Yeah, of
It just hit
course.
me. I'm sorry, you know me.
Yeah,
The Dead Daisies. We did a
yeah, of
festival in
course.
Poland. There must have been 400,000 people,
Mm.
and it was labeled as a concert for peace, and they call it Woodstock.
Okay.
And we were there with a 63-piece orchestra,
Oh wow.
and John sang a beautiful version of Let It Be
Oh wow.
and What a Wonderful World. Wow,
Yeah.
that's all. And we can
That
move on.
sounds. Yeah. That sounds incredible. I bet that's on YouTube somewhere. I'll have to
It
look.
is. It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Oh. Yeah.
Mhm.
He was on the cruise this year, of course.
Yes, I know. I know.
Robbie.
Yes.
So yeah, we need to get you on one of those.
I'm trying. It's been crazy. It's going to be really tough, to be honest, Cass, to get on this stuff because they're trying to juggle what was supposed to happen in 20 to 21 to
Mm,
22, and this is what's going on. They need to honor those initial contracts, and the people that got confirmed, they need to honor that. The people that are ready to go
yeah,
out
of
on the
course.
road and do that.
Yeah.
So my solo thing, and I accept it, and I'm okay with it. I'll do whatever I need to do just to get out. And is it's down in the totem pole somewhere, sometime when the time is right. I leave it to the universe, and I'm a Christian. I leave it to God to open the doors when the time's right, and
Yeah.
that's it.
All
But I
right.
would love to. There's something cooking right now that I'm not allowed to talk about, but it involves a cruise. That's all I'm going to say.
All
Boom.
right.
And it's looking really good, and it'll be the first one of its kind. So, and I was scheduled to do back in 20, which was the result of me touring as much as I did back in 19, remember?
Yeah, of course.
I did so many dates all over the planet, and it was, as a solo artist, it was like,
Yeah.
wow, because I was tied up with the Daisies up until 18. And then we went into hiatus because looking for a new singer. John decided to move on. So it gave me a chance to go out. And 19 was planting seeds, cultivating, and 20 was going to be the culminating, the apex, if you will, whatever. Yeah, somewhat. And so that's what happened. So yeah, it all pays off. Good work pays off.
Sow the seeds, grow the seeds, eat the seeds.
Thank you. Thank you. Plant, grow, eat.
And anyone who knows the young ones that's watching this will know I've stolen that from, I think it's Summer Holiday. But anyway, I'm not going to do the proper Neil voice because that's going to send it down a whole random path.
Yes. You know, the vegans would love that.
Yeah.
My daughter, plant the seed, grow the seed, eat the seed. Leave the animals alone.
Yeah.
Oops. That's a hard one for me.
I know. We won't talk about that again. I remember last time. Anyway, all right then. So I'm going to ask you a couple of random questions that I'm going to try and find ones I haven't asked you before. I mean, I think I've already asked you if you've met any of your musical heroes that have like your heroes that have made you starstruck. But I want to ask it you again because we've talked about all these legends and the people that you've played with. But because you are a legend in your own right, a lot of these people are just but these people are your peers. I know you're really modest and humble, but these are your peers. But is there anyone you've met that's kind of made you, when you go fanboy and you can't think of the right thing to say, so you say something klutzy and stupid? I want to know who that is.
I've learned not to do that. I recognize it and I get all fanboy inside and I'm like, okay, remember who you are. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Keep it under control. We're all good. My wife's moving around. But the first person that comes to mind, and I know the guys that play with him, they're my peers and we've done work together, and I haven't met him yet. Paul McCartney.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty
I would definitely go,
You'd say, yeah. No, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Because the first album my brother and I ever had was Abbey Road in Mexico. So we were like 10 years behind. Everything, it's getting better now, social media. But back in the day, back in 1935, before the war, Mexico was 10 years behind what was going on in the rest of the world, music-wise, and the pop world would hit us 10 years later. So we got the album, and that was us. The air guitar, the air bass, the air, microphone, the keys, the drum, all of it.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still have it.
Yeah.
I still do it. When I see somebody do it, I'm going, yeah, you go.
Amazing.
So they'll never stop being a kid, ever.
No.
So he would be somebody that I'm somewhat could be in the inner circle because Abraham Laboriel, drummer, I've done sessions with him and I met him when he was a kid. I know his father, Abraham Sr., was an amazing bass player. So I've worked with him and we've talked and we've been in the same room and recorded with John Sykes, actually.
Yeah.
And then his guitar player. I mean, if I could go to a show, I could probably go in and request to meet him. I don't know if he does that or not, but I would go, nice to meet you. I owe you my musical career.
Oh my God.
Do you know, is that heavy?
Yeah. No, but at least you're prepared.
or you inspire me to be who I am today as a musician. And I mean, because they did. The Beatles had such a huge impact.
And who doesn't want to hear that? Who doesn't want to hear that? So I'm sure that would be, I'm sure that'd go pretty well. You just got to we've got to make that happen.
Yes. And from my inner circles that are connected, he's very humble as well. He's very approachable and reachable. But so how do you put into words, a few words, the impact that people have had in your life, musically and otherwise? It's hard to explain. But I would love to, and I know it probably won't happen. And if it does, I'll be blown away. No expectations. To sit down and have a coffee with them. And just
how cool would that be?
That would be the coolest thing.
It really would.
I had a chance to talk Steven Tyler's been one of those guys that's always been up there for me, along with Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, and so many.
Yeah.
But Tyler, and I got to hang and talk, to exchange a few words, and he was the sweetest, the coolest guy, down to earth. We have the sobriety thing in common, so we spoke a few words about that. And we were backstage, we were supporting Aerosmith, and it was great. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of bucket lists that are happening right now. I mean, to get to meet Neil Sean and Jonathan Cain, I can't tell you. Living in the US, the impact that these guys had for any musician, it's just absolute, like, amazing. You can't put it into words. So getting to be in the same room, rehearsing, playing their music, and being part of that was just amazing. But Paul McCartney, number one. Departed, there's quite a few departed ones, but Tyler, I got to meet Tyler. I met Jimmy Page through David Coverdale, and he was very cool. Robert Plant is another cat.
See, I've met Robert Plant loads of times, but I've never managed to get a photo because the problem is he was like, I asked and he went after the show, because he was like, Bev Bevan's one of my friends, and he did a show locally, like in Birmingham, in a bar. Robert Plant came down, did a 20-minute set.
Nice.
We stood like as far away from me as my computer is, it was
Beautiful.
amazing. So afterwards I thought, I'll go and ask for a photo, and I was ever so polite, and he said, not now, but after the show, come and find me. And of course he'd done one, gone and hidden. So so I never got my photo. And everywhere I go in Birmingham, I could go for a Chinese meal and there'll be a picture of Robert Plant with one of the waiters on the wall, and I'm like, it just takes the piss that I haven't actually got the photo, because I've seen him another couple of times at Bev's shows and gone, hi, but I don't ask now. I'm too scared, because I've decided he's not having his photo taken with me now.
There you go. And that, there you go, Kat. But you know what? Honestly, it's going to happen. It's just the time's got to be right. It'll happen. And
it has to. Yeah.
Another personality, and obviously would be Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. And I met Keith, and it was at an airport, and we were going across and all that. But but to sit down and talk to them, that would be the essence of it all. Because to say, I've been a big fan, I've admired, how many times do they hear that?
Yeah.
And like who am I? It's like, I might as well I get into my brain and I go, how important is that? Probably not too important in their world, So, but to sit down and get to know each other and understand what an influence and inspiration they were in your career, in your life. It's like, wow. So there's so many, so many in the jazz world. I got to meet Jaco Pastorius backstage, and it was sad. It was heartbreaking, and I won't get into why, but you have these people that you hold up in a pedestal. That's human nature. They inspire you from a distance. They influence you, and then you get to meet them, and it's like, whoa. And I could go down the list, and I won't do that, but it's sometimes disappointing.
Yeah.
Either by their,
sometimes people say don't meet your heroes, but I disagree with that, because I've met loads of my heroes and they've been amazing. So I always think, just blanket saying don't meet your heroes, that's ridiculous, because most people are good people. You just get the occasional bad apple, and whether they were your hero or not. So all right then. So talking about heroes then, if you could possess any superhero power, what would you want? Any. You can even make a new one up if you want, but what would you want?
I would be Peace Man.
Yeah. Oh, you would actually. You could do that.
You
Isn't
can.
that a new thing? Isn't Peacemaker a new Suicide Squad person?
Oh, is it?
Yes, I think.
Okay, good. I'm not hip. I watch very little. I'm so unplugged from that scene. I need to plug in, because it's really, really relevant on what's going on. But right now the planet needs peace.
Yeah.
Period. And it would make, whatever. It's so important, man. So in our own little way, we try to send little messages to the universe and to other people. But we won't get into this. This is sad. It's a bad topic. And politically, it's like, unfortunately, we can only influence it so little, but we try. Peace.
Yeah.
And to get rid of that, and to get rid of hunger.
Yeah.
I know it sounds cliche, and I know a lot of celebrities have been out there, and I give them all the power and all the respect because they use their celebrity to make a difference.
Mm.
And that's all, man. They realize the importance of who they are and what influence they can have, and they take the plunge,
Yeah.
and they get beat up for it. That's human nature.
You can't do right for
Please
doing wrong,
everybody.
can you sometimes?
No.
Yeah.
And so, at the essence of it all, the results is what matters. And if there's somebody that can make a difference, a deep difference, and change what's going on in the Eastern Bloc there, I can't
Yeah.
even say it. Ukraine. I'm going to start freaking the
Yeah.
Ukraine, and I'm going there, and I'm hoping to organize something to help. But yeah, and the famine, kids, man. I mean, it's like I know we distance ourselves from that reality. I have kids, I have family, I have 5 children. The thought of any of my kids starving and lacking food is beyond I
Yeah.
don't, wow. And I see it and it breaks my heart. I sometimes, when I'm alone, because I'm trying to be a tough guy, I'm
Mm.
watching these you know, public things, and it's heartbreaking. So
Yeah.
if I could do,
This
I
got
would
really
change that.
deep. This was meant
I'm
to be
so
my silly
sorry.
question section, and
I'm
it's got
so
really deep.
really.
No, it's because you're such a lovely person.
Oh my gosh.
I had
So
someone once
that
that wanted the superhero power to have hot dogs on command. I mean, that's how silly it can get sometimes. But
yes,
or normally people
yes.
want to go invisible so they can go and look at boobies.
Oh, well, there's the side of me that I'm always a man, always will be a man, and but believe it or
Yeah,
not,
you
in
can be
my
the
career,
invisible peacemaker. So
yeah,
while you're
yes,
curing everything wrong with the world, you could
you
just
get to
go and
see,
look at a few boobies.
yeah, touring with the big cats, and I'll name a few. Don't have to name a few. We get to see that
Of
from the
course you do.
stage.
That's boring now. You've seen
It's
enough
like,
movies.
oh wow. You sometimes lose your place. Where am I? Oh, okay, yeah. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
It is indeed. It is
Yeah,
indeed.
yes, yes, yes.
Right. Do you know what? I'm not going to give you any more really silly questions. What I'm going to do
No,
is,
no, they're not silly. They're great. I love them.
oh, some of them are silly. You haven't heard the silly ones. All right. All right. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to chuck a really
Hmm.
silly one at you. This is a
Okay.
would you rather question, and I'll preempt it by saying there is no right, definitely no wrong,
Uh-huh.
because it's just all wrong. So would you rather have vaginas for vaginas for ears or penises for arms?
Oh. Run that
Don't
by
put
me
too much
again.
thought into it.
Okay. Say it again and I'll pay attention. I was laughing already.
Would you rather have vaginas for ears or penises for arms?
Of course I'm a man. You know where I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I know
go.
what you're gonna say.
Penises for arms, of course. But I would like to check out what vaginas for ears would be like too. Can I have both?
What? No, you have
Why
to
not?
choose. It's would
I
you
would have
rather?
if I would have one
Yeah,
penis,
one of
one
each.
arm, and one of each. And you wouldn't see me. I wouldn't get out of the house, man.
No, exactly. Nobody would. All right. I'm going to throw the weirdest question you're ever going to be asked at you because I know
Yes.
I haven't asked you this before. You've got to concentrate because this is complicated. It's would
Okay.
you rather again? Would you rather have a 12-inch belly button that sways to the music or accordions for legs? I love this.
Accordions for legs.
He's going to make music wherever he goes.
Music.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when we're on the moon.
Exactly. Why not?
Right. I'm going to wrap
You know,
up now after all that
yes,
ridiculousness. So
it's cool.
here we go. One more question.
Hmm.
You have done all these amazing things and you've already given me one answer that's on the list, but is there anything that's on your bucket list that you haven't done?
So many.
And it can't be meet Paul McCartney because we've said that one.
I know. So many. Wow, that is a heavy. We went from this
I
side of
know.
the spectrum to the.
I know.
I love that. I love that
leave,
about you.
I like to leave with a bit of a question that just, I don't know. rounds it up nicely. And I've
I
asked you all the
want,
others.
and this is heavy again, I'm sorry, but this is where I'm at today in
All
this
right.
hour. I want to see my kids to live a fulfilled life, full of happiness, love, and abundance. That's
Oh,
it. 5
that's so
children.
lovely.
That's all. That's
I
my
mean, for
bucket
some
list.
people, it'd be a parachute jump or a, some
You know why?
dolphins.
You know why? Because I'm going to do that. I know I'm going to do it. But because it's in the future, before I leave the planet, I want to make sure
The kids
that's my
are around.
bucket list.
Yeah, well, that's so lovely. And I wouldn't expect, you know what? You always give me a lovely answer, even if I try and chuck a weird thing at you.
No, but jumping out of a parachute, that's definitely on the list. But right
Yeah,
now, I'm dealing with family and all that because of
yeah,
coming out of what we're coming out of, and it's in my heart. That's the
yeah.
honest answer.
Well, if you
So
haven't done a parachute jump yet, I highly
you,
recommend it because it's
yes, you have. That's right.
so good, so good.
Right?
Greatest feeling ever. I would do one again right now. If somebody said, a bit like the moon question, if someone said, do you want to go up in a plane and jump out of it? I'd do it right now.
Yes.
Right now. It was so good.
Speaking of, go to the Dead Daisies. I got to fly in a jet with David Lowie.
Ah,
That was a bucket list. And I'm talking 500 plus miles an hour at
nice.
Mach 2 or Mach 3. Uh, no, I mean, not Mach 2, but whatever.
Doesn't matter. I
Fact,
don't know what I don't know anyway. What?
but that was my introduction to David Lowie's world. That
Ah,
in Australia. Yeah, he's a pilot. He's
no way. I did
amazing.
not know that. Oh,
Yeah, he's a champ actually. And yeah, it's amazing. Oh, geez, 2, 3 G's. It's like,
right.
and he was telling me I could pull it to 5, and I'm going, bro, I don't want to get sick on the cockpit. I just no, let's just play
Yeah.
it safe. But Richard Fortas got in right after me because he was with the Daisies then,
Yeah.
and he took it to 5G. It was like,
Was
wow.
that like
So
that?
yes, and I can imagine, and that came to mind because I can imagine getting over the initial fear, right?
Yeah.
The initial fear of, because human nature, your brain tells you, what? You're going to jump out of a plane with what? On your what? Was this tandem or on your own?
Mine was tandem because they don't let you do it on your
No.
own unless you've
Yeah, you
trained.
can't. Right. But still, so you're like, I'm on top of this human being that's wrapped into this thing, and I'm wrapped into that thing, and I'm like, phew. A
It's
lot of people
yeah.
paralyzed, right? And they go
Well, you
back to
don't have
normal.
time because you're stuck to them. So literally, they just shove you out. So you don't have time to freeze. They go, right, do this, photo, out, done.
And the
And then it's
adrenaline,
amazing. It's
yes.
amazing. I got stuck in a because he said to me, if you think you can't breathe, just breathe because you can. But I got stuck in a grin because suddenly I realized I was so happy. I was like that. And my face, I couldn't stop my face. It was like, because yeah, because
Do
of
you have
the
video?
yeah, of course
I'd
I
love to
am.
see it. Please send it.
Oh
Please.
God.
I'd
All
love to
right. I
see
haven't
that.
even, it's on a DVD
So
somewhere.
I'm thinking this is in the UK or in the
It
US?
was in the UK. It was in
Yeah.
Nottingham area.
Nottingham. Cool.
Nottingham, yes.
Yeah,
It
Nottingham.
was.
Yeah. Rock City.
Yeah. Listen, we're starting to talk about me now, and it's not my interview.
I know it's fine.
So,
Everybody's interested. Everybody loves you. I love you. I enjoy
stop
talking
it.
to you. It's all good. But Rock City, I can still remember walking through the floor and hearing.
Oh yeah, sticky. Sticky everywhere. Yeah. It's a few venues
Always,
like that.
always the best shows
Good show.
in
Yeah, it's a good
Nottingham. Yeah.
stage setup and everything, isn't it? It is really, really good.
I want to get there. That's one of my bucket lists. I want to get
All
there. I
right,
want to
there we
get to
go.
play. Yeah.
We've created a whole new bucket list for you.
Yeah.
Right,
That's it.
listen, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
so much. Thank you for your time, as always. I always
Thank you,
love chatting
Caz.
to you. And I think we get
Thank you.
too relaxed and we chat for hours and hours and hours, but hopefully everyone will find it an entertaining watch. I'd like to hope.
Yes.
Um,
Uh-huh.
so, yeah, basically, if anybody that's watching hasn't bought a ticket to the show yet, and I'm looking them right in the eye, just go and do it. There's shows all over the country. It's all in April. It's all on the internet. It's not hard to find. Get your butt up. Don't get the FOMO. Don't be sat at home thinking, oh, what's on the telly? Get out and watch a really good live show. That's my advice. That is my
Yes.
advice. That's how I'm going to end the interview. And
Very
thank
good.
you for your time, as always.
My
Mr.
pleasure.
Marco Mendoza.
Bye.
Bye.